Hey guys, welcome to Old School Bodybuilding. So today I wanted to talk about a bodybuilder by the name of Steve Davis. So back in the day, Steve Davis had a really crazy transformation that took place. But before I get into that, let me just talk about Steve for a second. So Steve, if you don't know much about Steve, he was a power lifter and strength guy early on. And he decided back in the late 60s that he wanted to compete in bodybuilding instead. Steve at that time weighed in about 285 pounds at about a height of 5'11". And so deciding to go into bodybuilding, he decided to partner with a guy named Rio Blair and of course Vince Gironda to take on this task. So Rio Blair was the diet and supplement guru at the time. And you guys, I've done a video on him in the past. And you all know Vince, of course, was the trainer of champions back then. So Steve started out training with Vince while he was developing the 6 sets of 6 and the 8 sets of 8 routines. And so that was kind of where he started as far as the training methods were concerned. And so in conjunction with this, Steve started working with Rio Blair on the diet and the supplementation. So the diet included 4 to 5 meals per day, and this was made up of Rio's brand, protein powder, and cream, half and half. He also took in raw milk and a few eggs during the day, too. He was allowed to eat meat just a few times a week, but he wasn't allowed to eat a lot of it. And so that was basically his diet from what I've found. So the supplements that were included in Steve's diet were liver tablets, B complex, HCl, vitamin C and E, calcium, and between meals he would consume amino tablets as well. And of course this sounds a lot like something Vince would have prescribed as well, so I'm sure Vince was on board with this too. Which was probably why Vince and Rio were kind of, hooked up together and were on board with each other's programs. So anyhow, this program led by Vince and Rio took Steve from 285 pounds all the way down to 195 pounds, which is just incredible. And this was in only 8 months. So the transformation was just paramount. So if you don't know Steve, Steve had one of the most aesthetic physiques back in the day. And as you can see from some of the pictures, he was very symmetrical and very aesthetic. And so Steve competed at the end of the late 60s in 1968 all the way up to 2002 in the Masters Olympia. And of course, his most notable win was the 1977 Mr. World. So anyway, I just wanted to talk about Steve for a second to try to encourage any of you guys out there that don't think you can get ultra lean in a short period of time, because you can. So in my opinion, the hardest part about all this is staying disciplined for a consistent period of time. And well, heck, bodybuilding, that's what it's all about. So consistency and discipline. So I'll leave a link in the description below where you can find one of Steve's books called Achieving Raw Muscularity. And this is where Steve himself describes the transformation. So hopefully you guys will check that out and see what you think about Steve. Steve's one of my favorite bodybuilders back in the day. And of course he had the same mindset as Vince with the lines and aesthetics. So go check him out. So let me know what you guys think about Steve's transformation in the comments section below. And if you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. Thanks, guys.